Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're doing a tier list ranking the best power forwards in NBA 2K22 MyTEAM. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 4,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day. I would really appreciate your support if you haven't already, if you do subscribe. Without further ado, let's not waste any time. Let's hop right into it. Let's start off with Patrick Ewing, who honestly is one of the best power forwards on this list. I do think he makes the S tier. I really do. I think, for one thing, having great size at the power forward position is becoming increasingly more important as the year progresses, and I think Ewing will obviously has that great size, being what, 7 foot tall. He's got a 7'3" wingspan. He's nice and fast, nice speed excel, super solid for power forward position. He's a good shooter, elite defender, especially on the interior, but good on the perimeter as well, and really good slasher as well. Badge-wise, he's very, very good. Needs badges like Limitless, Deadeye, Blinders added to him. Unpluckable, Ball Stripper, Ankle Braces, maybe Chef as well. He's a Dark Matter, so you can get 8 badges. You can even add a Limitless Takeoff if you'd like. But he's got great defensive badges on the perimeter and the interior, which is really, really valuable. Really solid shooter as well, especially once you add those gold badges he needs. Jump shot 4 on quick is honestly a very, very good release as well. It's much better than the release that he had on his previous cards and had in previous years. So that definitely does help him out. Fundamental dribble style as well is, I mean, it's good. You're not going to really be playmaking with your power forward for the most part, so that's not something that I find as important for the power forward position, but having fundamental dribble style at least is not bad. And I do think he's an S tier power forward. I think his size is very valuable, and I do think he is all around an elite power forward option. Maybe, I mean, you could make an argument he's the best power forward on this list. I'm not sure he is, but he's up there. Definitely a very, very good card. Chris Webber is probably A tier. Maybe B tier. I don't know. He's not quite top tier power forward, but he's definitely a good card. 6'9" with 7'3" wingspan. Hot spots in 3 out of 5 spots. 21 hoffs, including some good defensive badges, bullet passer, catch corner, so decent finishing ones as well. Needs Limitless, needs Deadeye added, maybe Chef as well. Ball Stripper, Ankle Braces, Pick Dodger, needs those badges added to him. And he doesn't have the greatest defensive stats. That is one thing that's kind of annoying, but hopefully some of these Hoff defensive badges do make up for it. He's a good rebounder as well, even at 6'9" with Hoff rebound chaser and really great rebounding stats. Good dunker, decent speed, and a good shooter. Jump shot 22 on quick, I do like. The release 69 upper is kind of odd, but it's just the exact same release as Thurl Bailey has. It's a fine jumper. It's smooth, easy to green, definitely a good jumper. Fundamental dribble style, Kobe size up as well. So overall, Sigs wise, not terrible. Badge and stat wise, again, not terrible. I wish his defensive stats were a little bit higher. That's the one complaint I do have about the card. But otherwise, once he's badged out, he's a pretty darn good card all the way around. Larry Bird is not a very good option, I will say. And on a list like this, where most of these cards are pretty darn good, I think Larry Bird is one of the lower end cards on this list. I don't know if he's D tier or C tier. I'll put him in D for now, though. I just don't think Larry Bird is very good at all. Just not a card who I'm a fan of. I don't like his cards in 2K at all this year. Just none of the cards he's had have been good. But 6'9" with 7 foot wingspan, hot spots in all 5 spots, 15 hoffs, includes some good shooting badges, bullet passer, decent defensive badges, needs some defensive and playmaking badges added to him as well as Limitless Takeoff. An 80 driving dunk is fine. He's a great shooter, but his release is on normal, and it's not that great of a release on normal. Doesn't have good movement. So those are a couple things that do take away from him. He's not super fast as well. Doesn't have elite size. Is an acceptable defender, but maybe not the greatest in the world, especially on the interior. He's fine, though. He's an okay card, but at this point, most of these cards are really, I did not mean to do that. Most of these cards are really good cards, and that makes it hard for a guy like Larry Bird, who's just a mediocre option, to be very high on this list. LeBron James. Some of y'all are probably gonna be mad at me if I put him in the B tier, but I don't know. I mean, he might be B tier. I think, I don't know. Because current gen specifically, his jumper makes him step in from corners, and it's just not as good of a jumper as he has on next gen. So that's, I can't waste too much time. I think I'm going to put him in the A tier. I somehow screwed up my, what did I do? There we go. I don't know how I did that, but LeBron, I mean, I think he's probably A tier. Stats and badge wise, he's great. 6'9" is fine height. Outspots are everywhere. 25 hoffs include a lot of great Hall of Fame badges. He's a really elite statistical card. Solid on the interior as well. Comes with most every key badge except for maybe Chef, and that's about it. You could add a couple of those rebounding badges that he doesn't have defensively as well. LeBron release on quick. It's not a terrible release, but it's not great. And I will say the fact that he can't shoot corner threes is annoying. Off the pick and pop as power forward, not quite as crucial, but still kind of annoying. Doesn't have great movement either. He doesn't have the elite size of some of the centers on this list either, but he's not bad in that area either. He's good. I don't think he's great. I don't know. He's pretty good, though. I think he's good enough to be in the A tier. I think you can still put him there despite me not being the biggest fan of the card. Dolph Schayes, I do think deserves it to be in B tier. And one of the main reasons is because he's only 6'8". That's just not very big. Defensive stats are pretty acceptable, but they're not like jump off the page amazing. Defensive badges are very, very good, which is nice. Needs badges like an Unpluckable added, like Blinders, Chef, Pick Dodger, things like that. Decent speed, good shooter. His jumper's nice. Jump shot 38 on quick is a fine jumper. Shifty dribble style is good. Like overall, he's a solid card. He's just not the greatest card in the world at the power forward position. He's undersized. Doesn't have like elite playmaking badges or anything that would help make up for the fact that he's undersized. But he's a good enough card. He's not bad. I think he's B tier. He's a solid option. Bull. On current gen, a base Bull is B tier. I know he's better on next gen, and if he's got a bunch of souped extra hoffs, he becomes higher. But as a base card, which is how we're judging these cards, he is a B tier guy. 7'2" is 7'7" wingspan, 3 out of 5 hotspots, 8 hoffs, include 4 interiors, catch, corner, and chase down artist, which are good Hall of Fame badges, but needs a lot of badges added to him as well. A blinders, a dead. I probably don't even put chef on him, and then you're going to need to put a ball stripper, a rim protector, a post lockdown. That's like those are going to be his 5 badges. He's not going to get pick dodger, not going to get ankle braces, not going to get clamps. He's limited on the badges. He's going to be missing some badges. That's one thing. Defensive stats are acceptable, but they're not jump off the page amazing. He's a good enough dunker. He's got acceptable speed for a 7'2" player. He's a good shooter. I love his release, even on normal. I'm still a big fan of this Brook Lopez base, and I'm really looking forward to the next Bull we have because he will be a much more complete card statistically and badge-wise, and this card is already good without being complete stats-wise and badge-wise. Very, very good option still. When we get a new Bull, there's a very good chance he'll be S tier, but for now, this Bull specifically is a B tier option. Larry Nance. Probably another B tier guy. Not a bad card at all, but not the greatest. Another guy who, similarly to LeBron, isn't really a... he's bigger than LeBron. I'll say that. He's 6'10". He's got decent size as well. 7'1" wingspan. Hotspots from both corners. 10 hoffs. Does need shooting badges. That's the big key here. Needs limitless, blinders, catch, deadeye, sniper. Maybe chef if you're planning to shoot off the dribble, and then he's not gonna be able to get these playmaking badges. Like he needs bailout as well. So you're gonna have to pick one badge, probably chef, that he's not gonna be able to get that you would like him to get. That's the badge I would go with personally. Really great defensive stats though. Every defensive badge on Link's Gold, and most of his defense are some good defensive badges on Hoff. Really good dunker as well. Nice speed. Acceptable shooter. He's got the exact same release as Cream, except it's on normal. Cream's on very quick. I wish it was faster. It's not the fastest jumper in the world. That's another slight detriment to the card. But overall, he's a very good option. Definitely still a B tier type of guy. Sharif Abdur-Rahim, I think, is C tier. I just don't think he overall is good enough for that power forward position compared to a lot of these guys. He's a pretty acceptable defender. Defensive badges are kind of, and though Hoff quick for step is nice. He's got some good shooting badges and some good interior badges. Solid finisher. Needs limitless, needs deadeye, needs blinders. Chef if you have the room for him, but also ball stripper, pick dodger, pickpocket. Like he needs more badges than he can get again, which is kind of annoying. But he's got acceptable speed, a good jumper. I will say 81 on quick is nice. Fundamental dribble style is good as well. But not the biggest card at only 6'9". He doesn't have a great player build. He's not an elite defender and is a little bit small. So for me personally, I don't think he's higher than C tier. Not a bad card, but definitely not a great option either. Karl-Anthony Towns, I'm putting him in C tier. I'm sorry. I don't think cat cards are good in 2K. I do not like his release. It's on normal timing, and I am not a fan of this release. Until they put it on very quick, I don't think Karl-Anthony Towns is going to be a good card. Not great movement either. Not that that's super important for the power forward position. He's also not super fast. Defensive stats are good, but not great. Shooting badges are great. That's nice, but with a slower release, I don't like that as much. He needs ankle braces. He needs pick dodger. He needs unpluckable. That's about it on terms of the badges, but I just don't like the release. The release is the biggest complaint for me for Cat by far, and I think that's becoming increasingly important as we get all these cards with releases on quick and very quick. For me personally, Cat isn't higher than C tier. I know some people like the card, but I'm not one of them. Tim Duncan, I do think is probably A tier. If not A, he's B. He's a really solid all-around base card. 6'11" with 7'2" wingspan, 20 hoffs, include some good interiors, catch and limitless, as well as really great defensive badges. Only needs a few badges. I'm sorry, added to him, like a blinders, like a chef, like an unpluckable. So he comes pretty complete. Limitless takeoff as well. But he's got solid speed, really good defensive stats. He's a good rebounder, solid slasher, and a good shooter. The thing about him that separates him from a guy like Cat, Tim Duncan has his release on very quick. It's not a great release on normal, similar to Cat, but on very quick, it is much better, much more usable. Fundamental dribble style instead of power as well is nice, and he's a better defender all around than Cat as well. He's just a better card than Cat, and the guy like Cat, he is an A tier guy versus Cat, who I think is a C tier. Karl Malone, I do think is our second S tier power forward. Definitely a really good option. Only 6'9", but he's got a good player build, which is nice. Hotspots from almost everywhere. 22 hoffs. Include good interior badges, catch, corner, quick first step, and great defensive badges. Needs like pick, dodger, chef, blinders added. That's about it, though. Defensive stats are really, really good. He's a great rebounder. He's a good dunker. He's got really good speed for a power forward. I'm sorry, at 93 speed in Excel, 91 shot 3 as well. Karl Malone, released on quick, is really good. It's really, really good. It's tough to contest as well. Quick dribble style, Kobe size ups. He's even got good movement for a power forward, which is nice. Overall, he's one of the most complete power forwards in the game. Really good card. I think he does deserve to be in the S tier. Jerry Lucas is either B or C tier. I don't know a ton about this card though, so I'm going to look before I make a final decision. 6'8", that's too short. I wish he was taller, but 4 out of 5 hotspots is fine. 19 hops, including finishing and shooting badges, which is good. Needs chef, needs quick first step, bullet passer, unpluckable. That's 4 badges. Ankle braces, ball stripper 5, 6. Pick dodger is 7. So a menace is 8. He's going to be missing a couple badges that you'd like him to have, but that is okay. Not the greatest defensive badges though. They're basically just rebounding badges. Not great playmaking badges either. He's not fast. He's not a great perimeter defender at all. Yeah, I mean, release is fine. Ray Allen release is good, even on normal, but big dribble style, no. Card's not very good. He's a C tier. I mean, you could make an argument for him being D tier. In fact, I'm going to put him in the D tier because we have to move some cards down on this list, and I just do not think that card is very good. Evan Mobley is okay. He doesn't have a ton of total badges. It's kind of annoying. He only has 40 total badges. 7 foot with 7'4" wingspan. Needs limitless takeoff, posterizer, blinder, chef, deadeye. That's 5 badges right there. And then you look at this. He can't get unblockable. Quick first step is 6. Pick dodger is 7. So key badge wise, he's going to be missing 1 or 2, and he can't get unblockable. Defensive stats are good though. He's a good rebounder. He's an acceptable offensive card as well, with decent speed, decent shooting, decent dunking, all that. Jump shot is fine. Even on normal, 84 is not bad, but I wish it was on quick. Big dribble style as well. He's got no movement. That's not crucial for a power forward, but I would prefer it to be at least fundamental or something. That is, so there's a couple of flaws in the card. I'm just not the biggest fan of Evan Mobley. He's not super complete either. So for me, I think he is a B tier guy. Now KG, I would love to put KG A tier, but I think I have to put him in the B tier simply because his release is a tiny bit on the slow side. Even on quick, it's not the fastest release in the world, but he is a good shooter, a really solid defender. 88 speed and excel is great. He's got incredible defensive badges and really solid defensive stats. Hop quick first step and catch and shoot as well as good finishing badges. Only needs a couple badges like a blinders, maybe a chef, and that's really about it added to him. Like, he comes pretty complete. Limitless spot up as well as one to add though. Jump shot on quick, it's not bad. It's not slow like a guy like Karl Anthony Towns' releases, but it's not super fast either. Fundamental dribble style with the Kobe size up is good. Overall, he's a very solid card. I think he's good enough to be A tier because the jumper is not bad at all. It's not slow. It's just not fast either, but I think otherwise he is a very, very complete card with good size. I do think he does deserve to be in the A tier. Kenyon Martin, I do think is probably B tier. Yeah, that's probably fair. He is a little bit undersized. I think he's only like 6'9", and he doesn't have the greatest of player builds. I put an M, not an OY. But yeah, Kenyon Martin is a fine card. 6'9" with 7 foot wingspan, hustles from both corners, 19 hops, includes some good finishing badges, catch, corner, quick first step, and good defensive badges. Limitless spot up needs to be added, blinders as well, maybe chef, deadeye. That's 4 badges right there. Playmaking badges aren't really missing anything, ball stripper and pickpocket. So he can get all the key badges he needs, which is nice. 94 speed is really, really good. He's a good shooter, he's a great dunker, and a really solid defender. Statistically, very good. Badge-wise, super solid. 75 on quick is a smooth, easy to green, and pretty solidly quick release. Fundamental dribble style as well. Overall, he's a very solid card. May not jump off the page, use the greatest power forward in the world, but definitely a very solid option and does deserve to be in the B tier. Danny Ferry is A tier. I mean, he's arguably S tier, but I don't think he's quite there. But he's got great size, 6'10" with a 7'5" wingspan. Hot spots from everywhere, basically. 12 hops include some great shooting badges. Post stars, a quick first step, clamps, interceptor, and intimidator. Only needs like ball stripper, hustler, maybe. Limitless takeoff, maybe mouse in the house. Like, you can add some badges to him, but he does come pretty darn complete, even without any badges added. 90 speed and excel, 95 shot 3, 90 driving dunk. Really solidly well-rounded defensive stats. Jump shot 98 with Rudy Gay upper on quick is one of the best releases of any card on this list. Additionally, quick dribble style, so he's got better movement than almost anybody in this list, despite the rest of his SIGs not being great. He is an A tier power forward, despite the fact that he is only a pink diamond card. I mean, he's still, I think, deserving of being an A tier power forward. Now, Zion is one of the tougher cards in this list to rank, I feel like, because of the fact that he is only 6'7". So he's one of the smallest cards on this list. That being said, statistically and badge as well as animation wise, he's arguably the best. So for me personally, I think I'm going to split the difference. I'm going to put him in A tier. I do think he is an absolutely incredible card, despite the fact that he is only 6'7". He's really good at the power forward position, even better at small forward, but solid at power forward as well. Hot shots on 3 out of 5 spots, 25 hops, including a ton of finishing badges, catch and shoot, quick first step, and great defensive badges. Only needs a couple badges added, like a deadeye, chef, maybe stop and pop, hyperdrive, potentially pick dodger. Like, he can play make really well though. 94 interior, which is overall really good defensive and rebounding stats. Maybe the best all-around stats of any card we've looked at so far. Jump shot 3 on very quick with Kobe right upper. He's got an incredible release, quick dribble style, pipping behind the back. I mean, overall, this is arguably the best small forward in the game. At power forward, because he is only 6'7", I don't think he's right up there, but his stats and badges are as good, if not better, than anybody on this list. Absolutely incredible card, no doubt about that. Sean Kemp, I do think is C tier for a similar reason of Karl Anthony Towns, he's 6'10 with 7 wingspan, so he's got acceptable size, decent badges all the way around, quick first step, catch corner, good defensive badges that for the ones he has, and good finishing. He's nice and fast. He's not the greatest defender though in terms of his stats. Most of his interior defensive badges are on gold as well as his perimeter badges, but he's got a couple of good ones on off. He's a really great dunker, good shooter, but the thing is, jump shot has a big hitch. 23 with a 7. It's just a weird jumper. Not a good jumper in my opinion. It's tough to time, tough to be consistent with, so that's annoying, despite the fact that he has good movement with quick dribble style and Kobe size up and solid badges and stats. Jump shot is key, and when you can't time the jump shot consistently, that is a significant detriment to a card. So for that reason, I think he is C tier. AD, I don't know if AD is B or C at this point, because this AD, I think he's still B tier. He was the best power forward center option in the game for a while, but he's just not quite there anymore. But that being said, he was great for his time, and he's still a very solid option. 6'10 with a 7'2 wingspan, hot spots almost everywhere. 15 hops include catch, corner, quick first step, great defensive badges, and some solid interiors. The 87 speed and excel is fine. 89 shot 3 is good. He's a great solid dunker, good defender with good defensive badges. Only needs a few badges added. I mean, more than a few, but you need to use all his badge slots for like blinders, deadeye, limitless, unpluckable, ball stripper, pick dodger. You're not gonna have chef or pickpocket if you do it like that. But overall, his release on normal, it's not bad, but it's much better on his new card on quick, and that is a little bit of a detriment. Slash dribble style is not good either, but I do think AD is still a very good card, very solid option at the power forward position. Good defender, all around pretty good power forward on a similar level to a guy like Evan Mobley, to be honest, and that's a B tier type of card. Bob Pettit, I don't know exactly where this Bob Pettit card goes, because I don't really think I've looked at him very much at all. 6'9", 86 speed and excel, solid finishing and shooting badges, actually really good shooting badges, decent defensive badges as well on the interior. He's a good enough rebounder. He's got acceptable dunking, I guess. Pretty decent defense. Set shot 14 is a good release on quick. It's the best set shot in the game by far. Fundamental dribble style is good as well. Yeah, he's fine. I mean, he's not great, but he's not like bad. I mean, even put him C tier might be a little bit low. Bob Pettit cards, the one thing I will say, they never play good in 2K, and his defensive stats are not great. He's not going to be a good defender. He just never plays good in 2K. I don't know why it is. For that reason, I'm going to put him in the C tier. It's not a card I would ever use. He hasn't been good in 2K since 2K19, but that being said, he's not a bad option. I think he is top of C tier. Kind of like Tyler Hansbrough, another solid budget option who can compete with some top cards, but isn't a top card himself. Although stats and badge wise, he is solid. Like, he's got good interior defense. He's acceptable speed, shooting, solid enough defensive badges. Shooting badges are good. Got acceptable gold playmaking badges. Doesn't need a ton of badges added to him either. Jump shot 38 on quick is good. Fundamental. Nah, this card's good. He's better than Bob Pettit. I think he's B tier. Tyler Hansbrough is a solid all-around card. Honestly, middle of B tier is probably around where he deserves to be. Thurl Bailey is the third S tier card on this list, and there may only be 4 or 5 S tier cards on this list, I will say. And Thurl Bailey is definitely one of those S tier guys. 6'11 with 7-foot wingspan, so he's got super solid size, hotspots from both corners, but hotspots aren't crucial, I don't feel like, in this game. 25 hops include some good finishing badges, catch, corner, really good playmaking badges as well, and elite defensive badges, well-rounded defender, 90 plus on everything, 95 driving dunk. He's a really nice and fast card as well. Jump shot 22, release 69 upper on quick, just like I said with Weber. Very solid card. I'm sorry, very solid release. Fundamental dribble style is fine. Kobe size up is nice to have as well. With his playmaking ability, he's going to be one of the better playmakers on this power forward list. Overall, he's a very good card. He's kind of like Giannis in a lot of ways, and he's definitely up there in the S tier for these cards. Blake Griffin, I do think is one of the lowest cards on this list. I'm not sure I'm going to have any F tier cards on this list. I guess I should probably move somebody down to F tier, but it's just hard to put people in F tier because none of these cards are like truly atrocious at this point in the year. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to put anybody in F tier. I'll be completely honest. I might have to restrict these tiers in the future from S to D because it's getting to the point where there aren't really any true F tier cards. But Blake is 6'10 with a 6'11 wingspan, 15 hops, really not good defensive badges. That is the big flaw with this card because shooting wise, playmaking wise, he's okay. Defensive badges are okay as well, but defensive stats are just atrocious. He's a great dunker, obviously. He's kind of slow though as well. Release on normal is not good. His movement sucks. This is one of the worst cards in this list. Honestly, we got to put one guy in F tier, and I do think Blake Griffin is probably the worst card on this list because his is just atrocious defense, lack of movement, jumper on slow on normal. Like, yeah, not a card for me. I'm gonna be honest. Dennis Rodman, I do think makes it out of the F tier. and into the B tier because of how good of a defender he is, with his defensive badges just being off the charts phenomenal, and defensive stats and rebounding as well being the same. You can add the gold shooting and playmaking badges that he needs, like an unpluckable, like a limitless, sniper, blinders, and deadeye, maybe limitless takeoff as well. And then he's got an acceptable shooting ability, and he's got good speed, which is nice. Jump shot is horrible. Jump shot 17 on set shot 17 on normal is one of the worst releases in the game. Fundamental dribble style is good though, and he's an incredible defender. He doesn't have great size, but he has incredible defensive badges, and that does keep him out of the F tier. But with his release being very bad and him being undersized, he's not much better. He's a D tier guy. Hakeem. People are very high on Hakeem, and I'm not one of those people who's like amazingly super high on Hakeem, but I do think he is good enough and has really good size to be an to be an A tier card. 7 foot with a 7'3" wingspan, hot spots for both corners, 20 hops, include some good interiors, catch corner, great defensive badges as well, really good defensive stats on the interior, and solid enough on the perimeter. He plays good at perimeter defense as well with badges like clamps, intimidator, things like that. 87 shot 3, he's got decent speed. Jump shot, set shot 18 on quick. Kind of like I've said with KG, it's still not a great release on quick, but it's usable. Like he'll catch and shoot open and make his shots. I honestly think he's better at center, but at power forward, he's good too. Like he's not a bad card. Fundamental dribble style is fine as well. He's a really good defender. Overall, I do think he does deserve to be on this list, and I think he is, I think he's an A tier guy. So for me personally, that's where I'm going to put Hakeem, is toward the end of A tier. Pascal Siakam. I gotta put some guys in the lower half of this list, and I do think Siakam was probably one of those guys at this point. His jump shot is only on normal. It's not a bad jumper. 75 is fine, but on normal, it's a little slow. He doesn't have elite size. Badge-wise, he's good, but not great. No like elite perimeter defensive badges. Half bullet is fine, but no half quick first step, no half elite shooting badges. Like he's fine. Jump shot 75 on normal, doesn't have great movement. He's a little undersized. He's one of the more mediocre cards in this list, though, I will say. Not having good SIGs or a jumper that's quick or elite jump off the page you defensive badges or stats. Like he's not bad, but he's just not great at this point. He's a mediocre option. Probably does fall into that C tier, to be completely honest. Danny Manning, I do think, is towards the top of B tier. Definitely a solid enough card. A guy who I've compared to guys like Thurl Bailey and Giannis, but I just don't think he's as good as them. Hot spots from both corners, 19 hops, include some good interiors, catch corner, quick first step, and good defensive badges. Defensive stats are really solid. They're not great, but they're not bad. He's got acceptable, pretty good speed as well. A decent shooter. Does need like deadeye, limitless, blinders added to him, as well as ball stripper, ankle braces picked out. That's like his 6 badges right there. And then jump shot 4 on quick is fine. The upper's kind of odd, but it's definitely a smooth enough, easy enough to green release. Fundamental dribble style is good. Kobe size up is good. Like he's a good card. Just I don't feel like he plays incredibly. He's not on the level of guys like Thurl or even Opal Giannis or guys like that. He just doesn't play great on court, but he's not a bad card, and I do think he does deserve to be in the B tier. David Robinson is one of the other S tier cards on this list. There's just no doubt about that in my mind. He's got elite size, 7'1", which might make him the tallest player on this list, actually. Hot spots from both corners, 20 hops, really good speed, especially for a tall player at 91. Really great badges as well, like catch, sniper, corner specialist, quick first step, and elite defensive badges. The one flaw with the card is the fact that he's got the big dribble style, so he doesn't have any movement, but that's not that crucial for a power forward. Release is also really good. Durability on quick is super smooth and easy to green. One of my favorite releases in the game, honestly, to be honest. I green so consistently with D-Rob. And overall, he's a very, very good card who doesn't need a ton of badges added to him, and is just elite all the way around. One of the best cards in the game. Definitely an S tier guy. Eddie Curry is probably A tier. The thing that is really good about Eddie Curry is, well, for one, once he's evoed, he's got a really good release, which is jump shot 38 on very quick with a great upper, shifty dribble style as well, and see decent SIGs. Like overall, he is a very, very good card in terms of his playmaking ability and his catch and shoot ability. He's got decent speed, acceptable shooting, especially with the half catch, half corner, half sniper though, and the elite release. That really does help that 81 feel more like a 91. Deadeye and limitless need to be added. Also would focus on adding bailout, that's another good one. Glue hands, that's 4, and he only gets like 5 badges, so you're gonna have to pick and choose. That's the one biggest flaw with this card, is the fact you're gonna be missing a couple badges like a ball stripper or a chase down artist or an interceptor or I don't know, a glue hands or deadeye, like things like that. You're gonna have to pick and choose a little bit with the card, but he's got pretty good speed, acceptable defensive stats, and he has some of the best animations in the game, and I really do think those key animations make him very, very valuable. Having an incredible jumper, one of the best jumpers on this list, and all of that. He is a very, very good card, one of the best animation based cards on this list, so even though the stats and badges might fall a little short, he is still an A tier guy to me. Penny Hardaway is another very, very good option. 6'7" with 6'10" wingspan, hotspots from almost everywhere. 11 hoffs include limitless sniper and playmaking badges. The problem with him is he would be much better at the point guard position than he is at the center. He's undersized at 6'7", even at power forward. Doesn't have any hoff defensive badges. Not a great interior defender either. Coupled with being undersized, only 89 speed as well. I wish he was a little higher speed to take advantage of his playmaking ability a little bit. He's going to be one of the best playmakers at the power forward position, but unfortunately, jump shot 10, even on very quick, is just kind of an acceptable release, kind of like Tim Duncan. And quick dribble, his movement is great. Like, he might be the best mover besides Zion on this list, I will say. But the problem with the card is that, unfortunately, when you're that undersized and don't have great Hall of Fame defensive badges, you're going to get killed on the defensive end, and that holds Penny Hardaway back for sure. Jimmy Butler is a better defender than a guy like Penny, but similarly to Penny, just undersized at only 6'7". That's a big flaw. I know I overlooked it for Zion, but that's because he has the best badges and stats of any card in the game, dang near. Hoff sniper, Hoff quick first, and great defensive badges does help Jimmy out though, and honestly, he might be B tier because of that. Does need blinders, chef, deadeye, limitless, chase down ice brick wall. That's like 6 badges. He only gets 5 badge slots, so you're going to be missing a badge that you'd like to have on him. Jump shot 22 with a good upper on quick. Shifty dribble styles. He's got pretty decent movement. Again, going to be one of the best playmakers of this position, and the really great Hall of Fame defensive badges does help him out compared to Penny. For that reason, you know what? I'm gonna move him up. I think he is a B tier guy, even if he's towards the end of B tier. Yee, definitely not great. I don't know why you have to type his name like this on 2KDB. I have to type him by his last name. But 7 foot with a 7'4" wingspan, hotspots from everywhere, 15 hoffs, include some good shooting badges, quick first step, and decent defensive badges. Defensive stats are mediocre. Speed is mediocre. This card's just pretty mediocre, to be honest. He's a little outdated, doesn't have quite as many great Hall of Fame badges as you'd like to have on him. But overall, he's fine. Jump shot 70 on normal. It's smooth and solid enough, but it's not normal. It's not great. Fundamental dribble style with Hoff quick first step is nice, but only 83 speed. Holds him back a bit. Kobe size up is good as well. He's just acceptable. Kind of like a guy like Pascal Siakam was really good when he first came out, but at this point is just a bit outdated. Only a C tier for me personally. Pau Gasol is either C or D tier. I am not a fan of Pau Gasol. I know some people love this card. I don't think he's very good, especially at the power forward position, because his jumper, for one, is a bit slow. Even on, I think, quick, set shot 16, I'm not a fan of the jumper. Even on quick, it's just not that good. Fundamental dribble style is fine. The rest of his things aren't good, though. 93-point shot, a little slow at only 84 speed and excel. Badge-wise, he's acceptable. He's got some good interior badges, catch and sniper, Hoff interceptor as well. Defense, the stats on this card aren't bad. I don't love the release. He's a little slow. He feels a little out of place at the power forward position. Doesn't have the elite size. I mean, 7 foot is fine, but he doesn't feel super tall on the court. Needs a lot of playmaking, shooting, and defensive badges added to him as well. Overall, he's okay, I guess. Like, needs limitless, needs post stars, needs mouse in the house, needs chef. That's 4 badges right there. And then ball stripper, ankle brace is 6. I mean, menace is 7. He's gonna be missing a couple badges, but overall, he's not terrible in that area. I just don't like the card. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like him. I don't feel like he's good when I've used him, and for that reason, I'm putting him D tier. I just don't think he's very good, to be completely honest. Paul Millsap. I know he's only 6'8", but I do think stats and badge, as well as having decent playmaking, he is good enough to be in the B tier. He's got, 92 speed and excel is good. Really great defensive stats. Solid defensive badges, clamps, interceptor, intimidator, post lockdown. That's nice. 89 shot 3, catch corner, decent gold badge as well. Needs limitless, maybe chef, blinders, glue hands, hyperdrive, quick chain. That's all of his badges. Ball stripper, ankle breaker. So he's not gonna have all the great playmaking badges, but he does have fundamental dribble style, Kobe size. I thought he had quick dribble style actually. Jump shot 34 on quick as a jumper. I do like. I will say that. But at only 6'8", not having elite playmaking, I guess his defensive stats and badges help make up for it. He's like, I don't know, bro. I think he's C tier. I'm sorry. I think I have to put him in the C tier because he doesn't have great size and unfortunately doesn't have like over the top amazing playmaking ability to make up for his lack of size. So unfortunately, I think I have to put him in the C tier. Leitner, again, is another guy who I've used, and I just am not impressed with when I use the card. I don't feel like he plays very well. He's better than a guy like Pau Gasol, but he's only got 84 speed and excel. Doesn't have the craziest size. Playmaking isn't great. He needs quick first step. Doesn't get unblockable. Needs chef as well. Ankle brace. So he can get all the badges. Pick dodger. He can get all the badges he needs. Limitless takeoff as well. But he's kind of slow. Jump shot is fine. 31 on quick is good. Actually, fundamental dribble style. Kobe size up. I don't like this card though. I don't feel like he plays good. Similarly to like guys like Millsap and Bob Pettit. Well, specifically Bob Pettit. He's similar in that area where statistically, on paper, he's not a bad card. He's probably closer to B tier. But for me, I'm just not super high on the card. I think he's a C tier guy, similar to Bob Pettit. Then you have a guy like Boogie. And to be completely honest, I have not looked at this Boogie card all season, but I have seen a lot of complaints about him on Twitter and things like that. 6'10" with 7'5" wingspan is fine size. Hoffs from everywhere. 17 hoffs. pretty good, well-rounded hops. 87 speed and excel is good. 90 shot 3. He's got acceptable stats. Needs like chef, deadeye, blinders, ball stripper, ankle braces added so he can get all those badges. Set shot 8 on quick is fine. Quick shifty dribble style. I mean, yeah, he's not bad. I think he's B tier. He may not be worth getting your limited rank for. He's not probably worth like running in your odd squad, but he's not a terrible card. I think he is a B tier type of guy. Dwight Howard. Is he? I think he's A tier. I'm gonna be completely honest. I know he has like 96 speed and incredible defensive stats. And he's got good size. I think he's A tier. I'll be completely honest. 6'11" actually. Hot spots from both corners. 22 hops. A 74th shot 3. Shoe boost, coach boost, moves that up into the 80s. So that's fine. Shooting badges are where he needs most of his badges added though. Like you're gonna want to add limitless, blinders, deadeye, limitless. I'm sorry, sniper, maybe corner specialist, unpluckable. Really great defensive badges and stats though. He's got great speed at 96 speed and excel. Jumper isn't great, but it's not bad. Fundamental dribble style. You know what? I think he's good enough to be S tier. He's an incredible defender. He's really, really fast. He's got great sides. I think once you add those shooting badges to him, a shoe and a opal coach, he is still an S tier guy. And then finally, Giannis, who I might be biased, but I still think is S tier. I think this card is so good. And yes, I know he only has a 76 shot 3. Coach and shoe boost gets that up into the mid to high 80s as well, though. Limitless spot up, sniper, deadeye, blinder, chef. He can't get any of those badges. I don't care. He can catch and shoot from the corner at a very high level. His release is very smooth, very easy to green. Hoff, quick first step, really good defensive badges. Everything on golden and clamps, intimidator, pogo stick, and more on Hoff. The one thing, slasher dribble style, not great, but Giannis is just one of the best defensive cards in the game. Most versatile from guarding 1 through 5. Release is really good as well. It's super smooth and easy to green, which does help make up for his lack of shooting badges. Is that what's one of my favorite releases to shoot in the game. He doesn't have the greatest defensive stats. This card plays better than his stats say he does. Giannis every year is one of those guys who just plays incredibly on both ends of the court. And Giannis, he's just an incredible all-around card, and I do think he is still S tier despite the stats and badges. Maybe not saying he is. So for me personally, this is my tier list of the best power forwards in the game. Let me know what you think of that list down in the comment section down below. Who do you think I ranked too high? Who did I maybe rank too low? And who, is there anybody that I left off this list that you would like to know my opinion on? Feel free to leave a comment about that down in the comment section below. And I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace. If you need cheap, safe, and reliable MT to build the God Squad that you've always wanted, go to NBA2King.com and use code JC2K at checkout for 5% off.